the Provincial Police Commissioner in Gauteng, that's Mthombeni, as well as his management team, have this morning given a media briefing sharing some of their progress, perhaps achievements in stabilising areas that have been affected by gang-related crime. The Commissioner also highlighted several of the successes, as I mentioned, that have been achieved. Listening into that briefing was SABC News reporter Patricia Visagie, who joins us now live. And Patricia, of course, there was also a lot of focus around what police know about the suspect who's now been arrested in connection with the alleged rape and murder of that 6-year-old in Orlando.
Well, definitely that, in fact, was the focus of this particular press briefing. And, of course, the police just confirming to us that he was arrested in Soweto late yesterday. But his identity was something that was obviously, strongly highlighted, the fact that he is an illegal foreign national in the country. And that also brought the attention to how many South Africans are actually housing or harboring illegal migrants. The police provincial commissioner obviously highlighting that this is a big concern and appealing on South Africans not to entertain this, saying that action will be taken. So we understand that, of course, the particular suspect who was arrested yesterday seemed to have entered South Africa in 2022, and his passport is also under investigation, as obviously the police believe that it had expired, and that makes him illegal in the country. And the police also talking about other areas of crime that have a linking to illegal migrants, and that is, of course, the level of illegal mining, saying that too raises a lot of concern about what is happening in that area. More than 4,000 illegal miners have been arrested. Out of that high number, about 3,000 were illegal foreign nationals, and the police provincial commissioner just highlighting again that this is a big concern. They're appealing on community members to work with the police and not to participate in crime, saying that those who are harboring illegal migrants, foreign nationals in the country, will have to face the full might of the law. The landlord in Soweto who was harboring the suspect who raped and murdered the 6-year-old. This person is also under investigation. The police are saying that obviously they're trying to find out how did this happen, and they're also going to investigate and really, cast the web wider, or rather the net wider, just to pin down on other areas where they find that there is a high concentration of illegal migrants, as the police saying that this is becoming a big problem in terms of the high levels of crime. So that is one area that was focused on, and of course linking to the murder, the gruesome murder of the 6-year-old in Soweto. We understand that the suspect will be appearing in court, so there's a lot of detail around that, but the police obviously saying that investigations continue. It's not just about him, it's those who have also been housing him and so forth. But again, giving an overview of other crimes that are taking place in of course, the province. Areas such as Jugulin in Tshwane, in Soshanguve, that also came out about what's been done there to tackle the high levels of crime in that particular area. The spiking incidents that we know are rising in the province, that as well, the police saying that they're making progress, several arrests, and again, a lot of firearms. In all the crimes that have been committed in the various categories, there's a lot of illegal firearms that have also been confiscated, discovered, and the police also highlighting about, the prevalence of illegal firearms that's really just flooding our society, in particular Gauteng. That is also a huge, huge problem that they're dealing with, and that, of course, linking directly to the high levels of crimes that are taking place. And then again, another highlight, that is the gang violence that is rocking the Gauteng province, several areas that have been highlighted. You would know Rivoli, Noordgesig, Eldorado Park, and here where we are right now, Eldorado Park, we're at the Eldorado Park police station where the briefing has been taking place. The focus is on this particular area, and really community members saying that the anti-gang unit that has been established to deal with these incidents is really not paying off. Yes, they can see that the police are working, but there is a lot of malfeasance that's still taking place that is preventing to see the results that they're hoping for, and really and the scourge of gun violence that is ripping through this particular community. So I want to bring in a community member who can just give us a response in terms of how do they react to some of the feedback that has been given by the police in terms of the work that's been done here in Eldos. You heard the Provincial Commissioner there talking about the incidents of gang-related violence in Eldos. Your response about that?
Well, the Provincial Commissioner mentioned crucial points. At the end of the day, yes, we all insinuating that the police are not doing their work. Yes, there are some. But I think it's time that we, as the community, take responsibility, be accountable. And once we have this, we can then hold the police accountable. I think community participation at this moment is very important because, yes, police are trying to do their work, but then you find that parents of these shooters, are interfering. They're hiding their children. They don't want to, they don't want to work with the police. Another point that I'd like to bring across, maybe a tip of line, because, witnesses are being killed. So people are afraid to come forward and say who are the shooters, who are bringing the guns in, who are bringing the drugs in, who the people that are involved in these things, because these people are being killed. So if we can perhaps maybe work on a tip of line so that people are able to come forward and talk about it, because I think people are just scared that they will also be killed at the end of the day.
The issue around minors that are being roped into the gang violence, a lot of 14-year-olds that we've heard even from one of the local reporters talking about that is now becoming a trend. The commissioner appealed on parents that is a parental issue. How do you respond to that?
Yes, for sure, it's a parental issue. Like I mentioned previously, our parents are not taking responsibility for their children. It's always a case the police are not doing their work, but what are they as parents doing?
And the parents not perhaps defeated by their own children? The gang leaders are perhaps overpowering them? The social challenges, is that not playing perhaps a big role in how parents respond to this? They get threatened and so forth.
It could be, but I mean a handful of people threatening a whole community. Isn't the community more than the handful of people that are holding us hostage? And again, the police cannot be doing the parents' work for them. We as parents and the community should stand up and do something about, educating our children, helping our children through this. And yes, we as the community should get together. We call ourselves activists, we call ourselves NPOs and everything, but we are so divided in this community. I think what we should do is get together, try and work together in opening up skill centers, places where these children can go to. If you want to get out of this gang, where do these people go to, these children? Because they're stuck there. Where do they go to for help? There's no help for them, and we cannot expect the police to help them at that moment.
Are you getting enough support from this police station? Are there perhaps police who are also involved in these wrongdoing, and community leaders that might also, be playing double roles they entertain criminality, yet they also front as community leaders. Do you deal with such issues? And maybe that is where the problem lie. Police that are rogue and community leaders that are rogue. Is that an element?
Definitely, we do have police that are working with the cartels out there, the drug dealers and the shooters, because there are times when guns and drugs are being booked in. The next day when you come in, there's no record of it. So who's taking it out? So yes, definitely.
Are you guys doing enough to expose these people? Because that's one of the questions that the commissioner asked, that they're not getting enough people in the community who know who these cops are, who know who the rogue community leaders are. Are you doing enough to expose them, to blow the whistle on them?
As I mentioned, witnesses get killed, and that is why I mentioned, I brought up the, we need a tip of line in Eldorado Park where we can tip off the police, because somehow, whenever you come into this police, the person outside will know this one was here, this one did this one just opened a case against you. So people's lives are in danger. I am not covering up for the community, but I think we should also think about our safety at the end of the day.
The police certainly cannot do it alone.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you so much. They, of course, from a community member, just responding to some of the updates that they received from the Provincial Commissioner, was talking about what they are doing, their operations in the province, in the communities, the areas where there is a prevalence of gang-related violence. Here in Elders, we heard that just yesterday there was an incident where a young man was gunned down, and this, of course, has raised, a lot of fear again, where community members are saying that as much as they speak up, as much as police, do what they need to do, they're not seeing the change that they would like to see. And of course, parents being concerned about their sons that are roped in to this level of violence. And you would understand this is how gang leaders get away with this particular matter, as of course the minors are not given heavy sentences when they are arrested. So they are being used to, pull out these assassinations, to take down other gang members. So it's really a melting pot of social issues that's gripping these communities and making the work very, very hard for the men and women in blue, who have to obviously face off with the criminals in the province and find solutions to make sure that communities are safe and lives are protected. So it's a lot, but as I've mentioned earlier, the top story perhaps and the breaking story here is the police really just bring us into their confidence in terms of their operation that was successful to arrest the man that is behind the rape and murder of the 6-year-old girl from Soweto.
Yeah, absolutely. Patricia Visagie, thanks very much indeed for that reporting, for canvassing some of those sentiments for us. Patricia reporting live there from Eldorado Park in Johannesburg.